Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. The Algeria squad for the upcoming friendlies against Mauritania, Mali and Tunisia has finally been announced by the Algerian Football Federation, the last team to announce their squad. Actually, I had a rumour that the game against Mauritania might be cancelled because apparently they're having trouble arriving. So hopefully that's not true. Hopefully the game does go ahead. I wouldn't be surprised knowing our luck. But the squad is out and I believe there are 30 players picked by Belmadi in this squad. But my overall reaction is that the squad is quite disappointing. I'm not happy with the squad. Well, I mean, I'm happy with the players we've got. But going forwards, there's no one really new, no one really outstanding for me to get too excited about. So unfortunately, I feel a little bit let down. You know, we're going to get into the details later in the video, but some players we could get available out there that are eligible for Algeria that are not included. We are really falling behind in getting players on board, and if we don't start catching up and getting these players from a young age, we're going to fall behind as well. But that's what I think. But anyway, let's look into the squad. 30 players. Now, we touched on in the last video about the goalkeeping situation and that we might see some new goalkeepers. We haven't even called up Djamel Belmadi. I mean, he's in Algeria. What's he doing there? Is he just training? Is he gone to visit the Makam Shahid? What's he there for? No Belmadi. There are 4 goalkeepers. It's the same old story of Mbulhi, Ukija and Duha. And I love Ukija and I love Mbulhi, and Duha is there for the vibes, for the banter and for the Darbuka and all that sort of stuff. But I just wanted to see some new goalkeepers, and there is a new goalkeeper. There's a 4th goalkeeper, Majadel, who we talked about, the goalkeeper from Mahdia. He's involved. Whether or not he's actually going to play, we have to wait and see. But again, Belmadi did seem to do some sort of goalkeeping training camp. We saw the Batna keeper Malela there as well. Obviously, Belmadi was very excited about coming to Algeria, and he's not even been named in the final squad. Does that mean Belmadi has put Majadel ahead of him? I don't know. But we'll see if we try a new goalkeeper. I'm not too fussed about the goalkeeping situation because whoever we have in goal against the lesser opposition, you know, the goalkeeper isn't essential against Mauritania or against Mali or against Tunisia, to be honest. It's the outfield players that are more important. But just a shame. Why not call Belmadi over Duha? Why not? We know what Duha is about, okay? We know he's played before in a few games. We know Ukija should be there, and we know Mbulhi is a legend. That's how it is, but to try a new goalkeeper. But he's tried Majadel, and he could be great. So let's see how he does. Even though he's at a mid-table club in Algeria, we just got to wait and see how he does. But there are 9 defenders in the squad to get into, so let's get into that. And there's no Rayan Ait-Nouri, a player that was linked. Very disappointing once again, because the 2 left-backs are Rami Ben Sabani, good, and Ayoub Abdellaoui, bad. I don't like Abdellaoui. I don't think he's good enough. Of course, Mohamed Fares has got a few injury history problems with him. Fares went to the AFCON when we won it. Fares is a good player. He's at Lazio. He was playing in the Champions League this season, so he's not been picked. Of course, we don't know if Fawzi Ghulam will ever play for Algeria again. I know Ghulam's had injury problems with his knee, but there has been off-the-field issues as well. We haven't seen Ghulam for a number of years, but we really need to upgrade on Abdellaoui. Even someone like Yanis Hamash at Boa Vista in Portugal. Try him out. Abdellaoui was in Algeria. He went to Switzerland. You're not going to win cups with Abdellaoui at left-back, guys. You're not going to get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup with Abdellaoui at left-back. And that's just the honest truth. He's not good enough. And I'd love for him to prove me wrong, but I don't think Abdellaoui is good enough. And I'd like to see better players. Of course, Ben Sabani is going to be the first choice. But unfortunately, we have Abdellaoui. We have to deal with it. Right back, I'm happy with the right backs. I'm happy with Atal. I'm happy with Zafan. They're the 2 AFCON right backs. Atal is brilliant when he's fit. Zafan's a great backup, played the final, fair enough. And we're not playing Baniada or Halamia in those positions this time, so that's good. And we've got 5 central defenders. I am very pleased about Tuba coming back because Tuba was being linked with Belgium and Belgium were getting all over him. But Belmadi has got to start using Tuba in games or he's going to get annoyed. Djamel, use Tuba in the matches. Play him. We're playing Mauritania. Play Tuba and see what he's about. And Tuba's been linked with a few big clubs, so I want to see what Tuba can do. Of course, you've got Mandi and Ben Lamri. They're the key pairing. You've got Badarain, who plays for Esperance in Tunisia. He's okay, utility player, I suppose. And then you've got Madi Taharat, who's in the Middle East as well. It's what you expect. It's the players you expect. You know you're going to get Mandi. You know you're going to get Ben Lamri. And you know that you're going to get backups like Taharat or Spanarajo or players like that. No Guijo, of course. Guijo, I don't think wants to play for us. It's weird that Spanarajo has not been called up. He got called up that first time. Taharat is a decent backup. Again, it's predictable squad. It's a predictable squad. Tuba is good. We haven't seen him play yet. He could make his debut. I hope he makes his debut. He's enjoying. He's been to Algeria recently in the past few days, travelled around the city, so that's good. So Tuba is involved. But again, be nice to have one or more new players just to see what they can do, particularly in friendlies, because this isn't World Cup qualifiers, this is friendlies. Try new players, get new people involved. But anyway, let's move on to the midfielders. And no Ismail Benassa. Benassa's not in the squad. Of course, in the last set of Algeria games, Benassa was called up when he wasn't fully fit. This time, no Benassa. Does Belmadi feel like there's no need to risk him? Has he opened the door for Ramiz Zarouki to have a real opportunity and start some more games, perhaps taking Benassa's place in the team? So let's see what Zarouki can do, and let's see if he's good enough. And you've got the usual suspects of Adeline Goudiora, Sofiane Feghouli. They're all on the wrong side of 30, though. Again, quite old players. Mehdi Abid in the Middle East as well. A player that we have seen called up that hasn't been called up for a long time, Hisham Boudaoui. Boudaoui had a good season with Nice, and he hasn't played for Algeria for a long time. I don't think we've seen Boudaoui for a while, since that game against Colombia. So Boudaoui's back involved. That's a good option. You've got Haris Belkebla as well, playing at Liga, playing at a good, solid level. That's good. So 6 central midfield players in Feghouli, Abid, Goudiora, Zarouki, Boudaoui and Belkebla. I haven't got too many complaints there, but again, when you think of players you could get Maxime Lopez, you could get Yassine Adli. I'm not going to include Hussam Aouar anymore because I don't think people would accept him. So forget Aouar, forget about him. I'm not going over that again, but Adli loves Algeria. Go and get him. Maxime Lopez, he's not going to play for France. Go and get him. It's just a shame because these are players that I'd love to see what they can do for Algeria and make our team stronger. But I'm proud of the midfielders we have. Let's see what they can do. I'm excited to see how good Zarouki is. But in terms of the attacking players, Mehdi Zarkane is another player we haven't seen too much. We don't know if he's good enough yet. So this will be a good 3 games for Mehdi Zarkane to see what he can do. He plays for Bordeaux in Liga. That's a good level. He's been linked to a move to the Premier League. So he could be a great player that we found that we just don't know about yet. So let's see what he can do. Farid Boulaya, very impressed with him, being linked with Marseille. Great season with Metz. I'd love to see what he could do. Yes, I know he's got 5-star skills on FIFA, I think. Very good player. He had a Futmas card not long ago as well. Not that I like to rate players by FIFA, but anyway, Bolaya's good. And then in the attacking options, there's a lot of players here. The right mid is stacked. Of course, Bolaya could play on the right, and then you've got Mahrez, who's the captain. You've got Adam Munoz, who's returned to the squad. You've got Zinedine Ferhat. I'm not sure if Ferhat is deservedly there. Rachid Ghazel definitely deservedly there after what he's done the League and Cup double with Besiktas. So there's a lot of competition for that right wing spot. And you look at Mahrez, Ghazel, Unas and Ferhat and maybe even Bolaya. That's 5 players going for 1 spot. And in the friendlies, you can make 6 substitutions. So we might see quite a few of them getting involved. And then in the left mid area, are Yassine Brahimi's days over? I love Brahimi. I think he's a top player. Of course, I love Ben Rama as well because he's at my club West Ham and we're in the Europa League. Yes, come on you Irons. But we haven't seen much. We've seen a lot of Belali doing very well for Algeria. Very good, very happy about that. We haven't seen much of Ben Rama with Algeria. A great assist against Zimbabwe when he did that cross-field ball to Mahrez. But I want to see more from Ben Rama. He's playing in the Premier League. I expect more from him in an Algeria shirt. But are the days of Brahimi over? If so, very sad, but we have to move on. And then up front, Soudani was here last time, wasn't he? Soudani and Darfulu were here. They're nowhere to be seen. Bounedjah, Slimani, and welcome Andy Delors back in the Algeria squad. Always a pleasure to have you involved, Andy. I want to see more of you, son. I want to see what Delors can do because he did a great header in the recent qualifying games. He wasn't involved in the past couple of games, but Delors, I'm very, very happy to see back in this squad. Showing, there was people saying he didn't want to come anymore. What was all that about? Delors is a legend. Delors loves Algeria, you can tell. I know he came late, but he does love and he's very passionate about it. And he loves taking pictures with the flag. I'd love to see Delors start a game. Now, Slimani did very, very well. He scored a couple of goals in one of the games. And Slimani's after the record of top Algerian goal scorer of all time. But Delors, let's see, he's got, what is it, 15 goals and 10 assists from Montpellier, a mid-table club in Liga. What a player, and arguably deservedly to play over Bounedjah. Now I know Bounedjah is the #1 striker for Belmadi, and we saw at AFCON Bounedjah scored in the final and in the first game, but in between he didn't do that much. Delors is knocking on that door for a starting position, and if we can have a front three of Delors, Mahrez, Belali or Ben Rama, that would be very, very good. Maybe with Bolaya or Zarkane sitting behind them, but that's the squad. Brahimi's not in. Of course, the players that we want to see, Adli, Aitnouri, Lopez, all those guys, Awashish, there's loads. Zadudka, saw people wanted Akim Zadudka at right back. I think Clermont got promoted to Liga. He's not in. No Teddy Belhandi. But I mean, the Nice website announced that Belhadi was called up, so I'm not too sure what's happened there. Maybe Belmadi called some goalkeepers just for a nice holiday because he can start travelling again because restrictions are being lifted. I'm not sure. But that's my thoughts on the Algeria squad. Let me know your thoughts down below. I want to see how Algeria play without Benassa, because Benassa's key to AFCON player of the tournament. Can we manage without Benassa? Can Gudiora and Feghouli do their bits in midfield with Zerouki next to them instead? Because I think the midfield I'd like to see is Gudiora, Feghouli and Zerouki with them. We're going to see if Zerouki's good enough, inshallah. Let's see how that goes. We're going to play Mauritania, Mali and Tunisia. The club season's over. Of course, Mahrez played in the Champions League final, so he's probably going to miss the first couple of games. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the squad. I'm disappointed, but come on, I love these boys. I'll get behind every player that plays for the team. Come on, Liver, let's do the business. Let's keep the unbeaten record going. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Subscribe, drop a like, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Any players you wanted to see that haven't been called up, and let's just see how we get on in these games. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you later.